introduction to Microsoft Project. Why Microsoft Project? So Microsoft Project Professional, it is a proven tool for tracking and detailing projects. It assists project manager in developing a plan, assigning resources to tasks, tracking progress, managing the budget, and analyzing the workload. Then it also helps identifying all of the tasks required to complete a project and the order in which they must be completed. So it helps anticipate cost to be incurred. It helps manage team schedule across several projects simultaneously. It calculates and forecasts the dates and help differentiate the original schedule from the forecasted schedule. So, I mean, I can go on talking about, not the features, but actual uses. As a project manager, I have been using it. So how it was useful to me, right? So why using Microsoft Professional is any tool, but more so Microsoft Project Professional is important to me is because it gives me ability to do the things faster. If I have to do everything manually, it will take more than double the time that I will be required. So with MSP, if I am taking a week, without MSP it will be taking me 4 weeks. Still I'll be confused and I'll not be sure about, I may be making some manual mistakes. Although there is a chance of making manual mistake also in MSP, it reduces substantially. So that's where I see the use of. So all the projects will have tasks, how they are interrelated, so that linking can be shown. You can generate a critical path, CPM. So for which if we take pen and pencil, it will take a lot of time. Here, if you have if you give your team members to do the estimation, you can put those estimates in project, do the revisions. Once revisions are okay and the plan is in place, you can baseline them. You can, in case there is a change request that has occurred, you can re-baseline it. So all those factors are available with Microsoft Project Professional. It gives you, so once you have put plan in place, second thing you want to do is tracking. So tracking related tools are there, so it gives you how you're doing with respect to cost. So you'll just have to enter the actual percent complete task and so on, which will enable the tool to provide you with the information from time to time. So let's say you have 1 year project, and after 1 month you want to create a report. So after 1 month you take a what all tasks are complete. There are already tasks that are planned. They have planned schedule date. So you come to know from deliverable standpoint of view whether you are successful in meeting those goals for a first month. So based on that, you can also extrapolate whether how we are going to, or forecast how you are going to do in rest of the 11 months and so on. So that's what is provided by the Microsoft MSP basically. So traditional tools to track projects. So traditionally we were using MS Excel. It doesn't mean that I don't use it now. Even today, I might use Microsoft Excel for smaller scope project, wherein I don't need too many things. I just need to see few things. I mean, for 1 month project, using MSP is good, but maybe I have similar templates in Excel and I might use it. So before MS project managers used traditional Gantt charts. So what are the Gantt charts? Gantt charts are the ones wherein you will get a graphical representation of the task, how long they take and so on. So essentially Gantt chart, there is something called running Gantt chart also. So we'll see those actually when we open the Microsoft project, the first project in a short while from now. So, and spreadsheets so Gantt chart can be drawn by hand either on Excel sheet or on paper, and then transfer to Excel sheet and so on. And spreadsheet to schedule and track their project activities. So challenges in using MS Excel, what are the challenges? Project and summary level data calculation is largely done manually. So what is the challenge in this? You are doing the calculation manually, the chances of you missing one thing will percolate everywhere. So essentially the manual mistake will lead to bigger mistake in getting at the actual, let's say, project schedule completion date, the cost for the project, the cost for the module, the time for the module. So everything becomes a little bit error prone. Creating and maintaining phases, task and milestone is more difficult. So you have phases, you have task, milestone, tracking them becomes more difficult. And the other factor is, since you are using MS Excel, you may change something now. You may have promised something else to customers. So keeping versions, it's going to be very messy. If you think of big project, I think you should stay away from MS Excel. So creating and maintaining project timelines and deadlines isn't dynamic or easy. Assigning resources and cost to tasks isn't automated, and it is not project specific also. So what it leads to is you really don't come to know whether resource is over allocated automatically. You have to go and do the calculation for each and every individual resources. So which is a cumbersome task and again error prone task. Wherever a human intervention is there, there is a chances of error, and that could lead to inaccurate information, which is not what you want in a project. There are no automatic updates for scope, time or resource assignment. So if you change something, how it is affecting your, let's say you change scope, and how it is affecting your time and resource assignment, right? So there is nothing automatic. You again have to do the recalculate and do everything manually. There are no specific tools to manage change effectively. So if you change a small thing, it is going to affect everything. Again, you will have to recalculate everything. So which is very time consuming. It is difficult to see the ripple effect of delays. So it is, you can see that any change that you are going to make, if it is not very effective. So if there is a delay in task, right? So even critical path method, for example, you will have to create your own critical path method. In case people, some of you don't know critical path method. In critical path method, you put down the all the tasks that are there on the project in terms of essentially a chart, a graph basically, okay, and there you tell what are the dependencies and so on, right, and you complete that project start date and project end date, okay. So this is start and this is end date, and this is where critical path method, what it is going to do is essentially tell you whether this task lying on the critical path or not. This is a critical path. So it tells you these are the activities to be concentrated for project execution from start till end. So in here, using your MSP, it is easy. You actually just input all the task related information. It creates the graph for you. But whereas if you have to do it manually, if you are changing something in one place, you'll have to change it everywhere, and that's where you'll have to redo the calculation, and it's pretty cumbersome. I mean, just think of it, if it is a big project, how it is going to be, cumbersome for you. There is no feature that calculates the impact of resource availability. Somebody is available, not available, and showing it to you effectively. So if you have let's say 3-4 resources, it could be easy for you. But just think of it, when you have hundreds of resources, you as a project manager are likely to face more and more difficulty in managing or doing the project using MS Excel. So there are no predefined project specific reports for different stakeholders. So what does it mean? You want to provide a report which is for the customer, which may be different than the report that you want to provide to your management. And doing it everything manually, you may send the report meant for one person, one stakeholder to another stakeholder, which will be very wrong. And since you don't have predefined project specific reports, it doesn't help you. Essentially, that's what using MS Excel is very challenging. So advantages of Microsoft MSP over traditional tools: it allows users to quickly set up project phases, tasks, and milestone, which is very important. It defines task durations and relationship. What is phases, what is task, what is milestone? So all the projects that you do, anything that you do in life, right? Essentially you try to define it more granularly, or you try to divide and subdivide. So if you have a bigger scope project, in that case you want to define multiple phases so that you can manage it better. So you will have essentially, for example, if you are in IT project, right? So information technology related projects. In that case, you will, let's say you have 2 years project. Usually you will come out with the standard phases, like you will have the requirement gathering phase. Before that, you may have a phase that essentially validates whether the project should be undertaken or not, right? So you may do that as one of the phase. Then you have the requirement, you have design, and then you have implementation, then and so on. So those phases to set up in a Microsoft project is easier. You will see they provide you with a lot of templates, and we'll use one of those templates when we actually do it. Then once you have phases, you have something called work breakdown structure, WBS. It is essentially in Microsoft project we are going to go by phases. So it can be based on either on phases or deliverables. So if we base it on phases, that's what we are going to do most of the times in MSP. Then you will have the work packages. So take example of login case. So login is a very simple, straightforward in any website login, Yahoo, Google, and so on, or Edureka, for example, will have its own requirements. So if I'm developing that login, I will have the task to be performed for developing that login. So the task could be first design it, gather the requirement, then maybe define the success criteria, all the use cases you want to try and define it. Once that is done, requirement is done, then take it for design. You design it based on all the inputs with respect to success criteria, with respect to requirements and scope, in scope, out of scope, and so on. You design it. maybe you can run these designs. These are all iterative process. So you run these processes through your project managers, your seniors, your colleagues, and so on. And you identify all the tasks that are required to do it. So in design, again, you may have various modules to be developed in order to do your login, simple login requirement, right? And you may have those security related module, actual login related module, error handling related module, and so on. You try to divide and subdivide, which is a tool and technique that you try to use, and come down to the level of the task. So task will be you need to code for module 1, module 2, module 3, then you need to test module 1, module 2, module 3, you need to review module 1, 2 and 3, and so on. So those all become tasks. And you can also set a milestone. Milestone is essentially a task with 0 duration. So milestone is something which is very important thing in a project. So for example, all the phases related output can become a milestone. So the phase 1 of initiation, producing project charter can be one milestone. Phase 2 of creating project management plan can become a second project milestone. Then providing deliverables or features, let's say there are first set of features being released in the first milestone, second set of features relay, or the rest of the set of features released in the second milestone. So and so on. So those milestones are like 0 duration or 0 activity, 0 duration activity or task. So these are very important in terms of analyzing how we are faring with respect to your project activities. Then defining the task duration and relationship. So once we have all those modules, those tasks, right? Modules will have task and task will have durations. And task will have there will be unless until you do development, you cannot test it. So that is a mandatory relationship between development and testing related module, right? Or development task and testing task. Then clearly identify and allocate resources and coordinate workload. So you have to see if the resource available, if he is available, then you allocate him to do the work. And there could be development team will be different, testing team will be different. So you need to do the coordination of that workload. Then quickly access and share relevant project information. So whatever is happening on the project, week on week basis, you may have to provide the report. So you have to access this information, what is complete, what is not complete, and share the relevant project information to appropriate stakeholders. So it could be your sponsor, it could be your customer, it could be subject matter experts, and so on. So effortlessly create custom report to keep the project team informed and aligned. So these are all the things that Microsoft Project allows the users to do. Yeah. MS Project version timeline. So in 2007, we hardly have anything as per them, right? It doesn't mean that it was not there. It was there in some form. So that's what it is included. Is what. So these 3 features of resource management, schedule management, and collaboration were there in 2007. In case you have older versions, okay. So getting started is project enables you enables your organization to quickly start projects, prioritize project portfolio investments, and deliver the results with the intended business value. So this was not there in 2007. It was introduced in 2010. In 2007, resource management was there. So delivering the results with your workforce today and plan for the future to manage surplus and deficit across a planning horizon. So that feature was there. Schedule management was there. So delivering the project on time with map for execution and delivery framework for tracking progress and managing change. And that's what we are going to see. All these features will be seen because we'll be covering the project professional 2013. So you can see, and these are all improved ones are there. Then collaboration, team collaboration is the backbone that supports and drives effective execution and overall project success. So you can see that is the improved version that we have. And what is new in 2013? The feature, the import, simplify IT. So easily get everyone on the same version of the project professional for Office 365 with no upfront infrastructure cost and an affordable subscription and predictable monthly cost. So it is as per the pay per use kind of thing that is there with Office 365, right? So there is no upfront infrastructure cost, and if you are subscribing month on month, you know what cost it is going to be in case you want to, use it over the or across the web. So that's the advantage of Simplify IT. And that is the new feature added in 2013. So MS Project, it is available in two different editions, Project Standard and Project Professional. So Standard is the entry level desktop version which helps create and modify project schedule. Whereas Professional includes all the functionality of Project Standard edition plus a few additional features that can be used to create and modify project schedule. So in addition, Project Professional can connect to Project Web Application, PWA, the browser-based interface of Microsoft Project Server. So these are the advantages of Project Professional versus Project Standards.